Okay.
We'll start with opening comments from Coach and then open up questions.
One thing about conference play, you got to have short-term memory because the games keep coming. With 12 left to go, obviously we want to get on the right track and play consistent basketball. I think since we've hit conference play, one thing I have not been happy with our defense. I think we've been trying to outscore people, and I think we saw that in effect the other night against Florida. I thought we came out with the right mindset, and then our defense suffered. So that's the thing I know we got to hang our hats on. And one of the things that's always been a trait of our team is we're going to be one of the top assist teams in our league. We're going to be one of the top assist to turnover. And I look at those categories, even in defense, and just in conference play alone. We're not in those positions. We're in last or right in the middle of the pack, and that tells me we're not playing as efficient we were early in the year. And so that means obviously we've got to inject some energy and get more balance. I think that's the key to this team. You got to have more balance. I look at Ole Miss team, and their a team that has a lot of balance. They got 5 guys in double figures, and they're playing pretty good basketball. They beat Florida at their place. They lost a tough game at A&M, their last game out. So it's a team that's guard-oriented. They have some experienced guys, the Davis kid and the Barnett kid. They played well against us last year. We played them twice. Played them here. We played them in the SEC tournament, and those guys played really well. They've added a Stevens kid that's the third leading scorer, a really good basketball team, and the Tyree. So it's a team that's obviously they play a physical brand of basketball, attacking brand of basketball, and so it's going to be a tremendous ball game when you think about Arkansas and Ole Miss playing. So those games went down to the wire last year, especially in the conference play, and I expect the same thing. And we're just seeing a trend in SEC play. Every night you got to bring it, no matter where you play.
Yeah, Mike, you got a health update on Anton Beer and Trey Thompson and their status for this game?
Yeah, right now it's still questionable right now, and those guys didn't get a chance to play much in the Florida game, and yesterday they were getting treatment. So we'll see what takes place today, and it'll probably be, if anything, a game time decision.
If they can't go, who picks up those minutes?
Well, we got Gabe. Gabe would be one of those guys. Will benefit from that. Obviously, you got Adriel Bailey, who started for us early in the year, and I'm looking forward to getting him back and really so he can have an impact on this basketball team. We got some guys in position that can assume some of those minutes, and I think you'll see more of the Darius Halls out on the floor. You'll see CJ more on the floor, so we can continue to have that balance. I think sometimes guys are playing too many minutes, and I think that's why you see sometimes the collapses in our defense and sometimes the stagnation on our offense. So that's a way of fixing that. We got to get more bodies, more people in there that I think they're more ready to play now. It's just next man up.
Just since you've struggled defensively, and then you got 2 guys possibly down, and you already lost Garland before the year started. Do you maybe modify defensively, maybe press less or do some things less?
We'll make the adjustment. I think we did it last year, Nate. We, obviously we weren't doing, when teams figure you out, you got to be able to be unpredictable and do something different. We'll play some man, we'll play some matchup, we'll play some zone press, we'll play some man-to-man press. We still want to make sure we have tempo. And I don't think you have that problem with Ole Miss. They like to run on turnovers. They like to run on long rebounds, especially with all those guards. So, but there are times we also will kind of pick what we're going to do. Just try to keep them off balance. I think that's the biggest key. And when you play defense, is we got to be on the same page, but we got to keep them off kilter, so to speak.
Darryl hasn't been scoring at a level that he's shown that he can do. How do you get him back on track, scoring-wise?
Well, I think you just got to take good shots and make good shots. I think Darryl's got to get lost on offense. He's got to come off screens. Right now, I think the ball gets stagnant, and a lot of times it's trying to go off the dribble. So you got to get in other areas, get in transition, get some easy opportunities there. But we got to get other guys. I think that's when our team is thriving, is when other guys are scoring as well. Right now he's a target. They're going to guard him. They're going to guard Barford. So who's going to be the best beneficiary guys? A guy like Daniel, we got to continue to establish Daniel inside or around that basket. I think the more we do that, then I think it draws everybody inside, and then now it opens up the outside for our guys.
Yeah, Mike, Andy's obviously been around. I guess he's 12 seasons, Dean SEC coaches. What kind of job do you think he's done there? And he's also he's one of the few guys who's actually has a winning record here as a visiting coach in Walton Arena.
And he's a good coach. He's been around a while. I think he played the game. He understands it. He was coaching at Cincinnati, and then of course, like you said, 12 years in this league. You don't just stay in there unless you're doing a pretty good job. You get guys in that fit what he wants to do. Like I say, he was a guard, big guard that shot the basketball, so he get those kind of players. And obviously, to win at this level here, you got to have a certain level of toughness. And so he's done a good job.
And free throws, I know has been an issue, and it was really bad the other night. Are you kind of at your wits' end, or what do you do about that?
Well, it's so strange, weird, because in practice our guys, they knock them down, and I always say, it can have a vast effect on a game. Last year we won games because of free throw shooting, and you want to get guys up there. Even the guys that are shooting a good percentage, you get them up there, and they're not making them as well. So it's kind of contagious. So hopefully we can get it going the other direction, and we'll continue to work on it and continue to make sure our guys prepare. With the understanding, knowing they're going to get fouled a lot. And you think about the Florida game, those were momentum free throws. It's a 15-point game. I think we missed 4 free throws, and that changes the flow of the game. And we've seen other games where that's taking place. So it's something we've got to get better at. That's it. That's individual there. You got to work on it. You got to get up there. You got to have the confidence to go up there and knock them down. Not 1 or 2, but knock 2 in a row down.
You mentioned defense at the top of this. What specifically are you seeing was going on? Where are the breakdowns occurring?
I think, if number one, if you're going to play, let's say even in your half-court defense, our defense is geared toward where we're right with people. And if you get beat by one person, then you got to have that second line of defense. And we're not getting that second line of defense. But it starts with the guy that's guarding the basketball. I think we got to get multiple efforts. And we got to build walls when people are driving and attacking us and be able to rotate out. And that's pretty. It's pretty fundamental, is what it is. And so, but I think it requires second, third, and fourth effort. And I don't think we're getting it from everyone. And all it takes is one weak link in your defense, and we've seen that. And then we've seen it where, we played Missouri the other day. I think they had 10 points with maybe 5 minutes to go in the half. And I thought our defense was really intense, and we were getting the spots. We were covering the shooters. We were running them off the line. If they attack that basket, you got somebody either block the shot or we take a charge or make them kick out and take a rush shot. And I just think it's those efforts that we're not getting. And like I said, is that a fact maybe that we're a little tired, that we don't give that extra effort? We'll find out as we move into these games here.
You mentioned Gabe. What did he show you that stretch when Cook and Thomas were suspended, and how's he done as far as practices?
I think Gabe is one of those guys. He can move his feet. I think he's a great second line defender when he's in position to read and help. I think he rebounds in traffic. I think he goes out and does some of that dirty work that you want. He's a blue collar player, and he plays with a little edge, and I like that. He's a good passer too, and so we'll see him play on Saturday. He'll play without a doubt.
Hey, Mike, after the game the other night, Jalen said, he still has confidence. You guys are one of the best teams in the conference, even though you obviously been struggling. Mm-hmm. Do you still feel that way? And do you feel like the players, more important, I guess, the players feel that way? Do you feel like this team still is in a good place mentally?
Well, I think, the attitude has a lot to do with where you're going to go. And I think they know they're still a very good basketball team. I just think they know they've been a little sick, and they're not all the way healthy, but I thought even in the game the other night, I thought we did a much better job of getting good ball movement and played defense for a while there. When we went to our matchup, I thought it was pretty good. Now we just got to put together, a 40-minute game where the guys that go out, they're going out there giving everything they got. Then the guys coming off are coming out there either maintaining or taking to another level. Not going out and all of a sudden now, let's say if the game is tied, then all of a sudden you look up, we're down 12. They got to either maintain it or take it to another level. And again, that requires a lot of energy, a lot of effort, in your attitude, in your mindset going out there. But I think, I think they are. I think they're a really good basketball team. I think they just got to put it all together and play some of the better basketball. It's a team that, to me, is still, when you talk about the identity, we had some guys that were not here at the beginning, and all of a sudden now we got those guys back, and we're still kind of like calibrating to be the team we want to be.
What's the toughest thing for you as a coach about this Ole Miss team?
Well, I think they can shoot the basketball. They got multiple guys that can go off the dribble. They can really shoot the basketball. They're really scrappy on the boards. And Andy, he'll mix and match his defense. So we got to be in attack mode. But it's a team that's going to be relentless, and whether they're up or down, they're going to continue to play the same way. But they're a good basketball team. Good basketball team. They're 3-3 in league play and played a tough non-conference schedule. So coming in here, they won't be intimidated. They'll come to play. Should be a great ball game.
I wanted to get your thoughts on the NCAA. Division I Council moved up the start of the college basketball season starting this fall, and also the required 3 days off during the holiday break. Just your thoughts on that?
Well, the holiday break, I think a lot of coaches do that already, so that's nothing new there. And I think the rationale behind the moving up the days, 3 days prior to, I think that gives you Tuesday to start. You can start that Tuesday. Is to avoid, I guess a lot of teams play on, you got football going on the weekends. Normally teams would play on Friday and going into Saturday, and that was good for us anyway. So it doesn't matter with us, but I'm sure for some schools it moves it up, give them that opportunity. So we start practice earlier now anyway. So I guess they said let's start the games early. So it's no big deal.